What's going on, you guys? It's your boy. I've been practicing the standard Warhammer and GreatAxe Bruiser setup, and while practicing this setup, I noticed that whether it's OPR, arenas, or open world, this is the setup that counters Dex. Without Bruisers, it is impossible to fight the Dex meta, especially the way it's shifting on the servers with so many archers, musket users, especially greatsword users. But essentially, this Bruiser setup is going to counter the Dex and high damage meta because of its CC and its clump fighting ability. So I'm just going to show you guys a few fights right here. I see Axel, he kind of like ventures off. I guess he wants to 1v1 fight me. I think it's a 1v1, so I kind of start with the heavy attack to try and bait him so I can give him my stun, but looks like someone joins him, so I catch them both in the CC combo and pretty much just wombo combo them without even having to place grab wall because they're sitting right in my CC range. This next fight here, I walk up, I see a clump. I LOS them, they all run into my grab well. Start off with a stun, switch to the maelstrom, see someone's low, hit them with a knockdown. I didn't really get the full combo off on the full group, but I did get a pick and get back to my team. In this fight here, I am approaching standard Dex Rapier user. He does a lot of damage, and I also have a mob on me. He ends up almost killing me, but I catch him in the grab well and then instant catch him in the wombo combo with the knockdowns. He has no choice but to run, but I'm able to stick to him with medium hops and normal attacks. As you can see, I'm just showing you guys the potential of this wombo combo. I actually really just learned this combo, and it's actually really deadly. I'm sure the more I practice it, the better off it's going to be. Here, me and Loki, we kind of did a group combo. We dropped him in the grab well, and we're both just chain CCing a group. Two Bruisers together, it really shines, man. You can really carry arenas. You can carry OPRs. This setup is just, it's really phenomenal, man, because you do so much damage, so much CC. If you get anywhere close to someone and you land your grab wells, it's pretty much GG every time. It doesn't really matter their team comp, but for Dex users, they get countered so hard because they're so squishy, and the majority of their builds depend upon mobility, and this is what this build takes away from them. So again, I go in with my CC, we double grab well, and then just start with the CC chain into a maelstrom, and their team just drops, and there's nothing they can do about it. They're just sitting there looking lost. Yeah, that's pretty much enough of the gameplay, you guys. I'm pretty sure you know how it plays. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the build. So let's go ahead and hop into it. Alright, guys, I'm here on my Bruiser, so I'm just gonna start off by showing you my gear. I have a few pieces to replace. It's just kind of a placeholder. It's not fully best in slot. We'll start with my weapons. Primus Axe is pretty easy to get. You can just farm this from a boss mob out in Brimstone. Has 31 strength. Right now I'm rocking a Leeching Gambit, but you probably want to put in an Elemental Gem if you want maximum damage on this. An empowered Elemental Gem, like a Fire Gem. And then for Refreshing Ward here, it reduces the active cooldowns the more you're hit, which is pretty huge because you're definitely going to be getting hit as a Bruiser. You're going to be taking a lot of damage. Thwarting Strikes, your main Maelstrom and Charge, which is your main DPS abilities. Well, Charge you're going to be using to get away a lot as well if it's a large clump, but with these grit skills, you're going to be doing a lot more damage as well. You'll have to earn your strength, so all of your normal attacks will do more damage. Keenly Empowered, obviously self-explanatory. Empowered is just one of the best perks in the game. This is a really good starter axe. I'd probably want Thwarting Strikes and Attunement over Keenly Empowered. Thwarting Strike, Attunement, Refreshing would probably be this. But this is a good starter GreatAxe. Again, like I said, I'm going to replace this for my Warhammer. I'm using my DPS Warhammer right now, which has Abyssal Attunement, Thwarting Strikes, and then Leeching Path of Destiny. Really, if this was best in slot, I'd want some sort of attunement, Abyssal Attunement, and then I would want instead of leeching Path of Destiny, I would probably want Sundering Shockwave, which is going to apply a rend on Shockwave, which stops your opponents from healing in your full DPS combo. Because the DPS combo is Gravwell into Sundering Shockwave back into Maelstrom, which that Shockwave would apply a rend, stopping them from heal. Maelstrom would just finish them off. That would be BIS. However, leeching Path of Destiny is not bad, and then thwarting strikes is still really good because your main DPS skill is Shockwave, as well as your knockdown. They both have, as well as your normal attacks as well, they all have grit, so this is going to allow pretty much every hit on your Warhammer to do more damage. Again, this is placeholder until I get my full Bruiser shot. And then we have my boots. I have Shirking, Fortification, Resilient. In order to truly counter the Dex meta, you'd want to change this out for Elemental Aversion, Resilient. And then for third stat line, you'd probably want Refreshing. For these pants, again, they're really easy to get. Refreshing, Resilient, Shirking, Fortification. Really good pants, but again, if you want to counter Dex meta, you know what you got to get. Elemental Aversion. And then I have again Shirking, Fortification, Resilient on my gloves. These two pieces will be placed with Elemental Aversion, and then I'm going to keep 3-piece Shirking, Fortification. My chest piece is really good for versatile builds. It has Shirking, Fortification, Resilient, and then Sturdy Energy. From blocking a hit, I gain stamina. Just in case when I'm low stamina, I want to block. Gaining that extra stamina allows me to get away. It's really crucial. Again though, if you could get Shirking, Fortification, Resilient, and Refreshing, you know, that's BIS. And then right here I have Freedom, Refreshing, and Resilient. Freedom is absolutely amazing as a perk. Refreshing is absolutely amazing. However, I am eventually going to replace this with Elemental Aversion and Resilient. For my accessories, Standard Recovery, Slash Protection. I want to swap this out for a 3-perk Stand Recovery, Thrust Protection to counter the Dex meta, and then I'd want Health for third stat. But the two main stats are Stand Recovery and Thrust Protection to counter Dex. But Slash Protection is also very good because there are a lot of Dex users that are rocking greatswords, or even really strength users that are rocking greatswords. Have my Heart of Mayhek Ball, which I also have Legates still. Heart of Mayhek Ball is really good. It has Hardy, Keen Awareness, Slash. But the thing about being medium Bruiser, you don't really need Hardy as much. That's why eventually I'm going to swap to Legates. Doom Chance Earring with Refreshing Toast, Regenerating. Yeah, and I'm still using Major Rim Detonate because it gives you that speed boost to allow you to really catch up to clumps. And you can really pop a Detonate into your Gravwell, into your Shockwave, into a Maelstrom combo. And it's really extremely good. For my stats, it's 304 strength, 160 con. But when I'm eating food, it boosts me up to 200 con with roasted vegetables, because it gives me 40 con. That is my gear. And then for my weapon attributes, I have changed this a little bit. Gravity Well, and then I'm using Mauler's Fury. That's the main difference. Crowd Protection and Center of Attention, so that when I have multiple enemies around me, I'm getting damage absorption and extra damage. And then obviously full spec into Maelstrom, that way I get that extra hit. And then Grit on Maelstrom, which is going to give me extra damage because I have Thwarting Strikes. And then I also have Mauler's Resolve. If you get hit or holding a GreatAxe and you're below 50 health, you gain stamina so that you can dodge more and get out of that situation. And then I'm rocking Feed, which is going to give me health when foes are low. That way I can stay and kind of finish them off. Frustration, if they block anything, I'm getting a damage bonus, better for me. Keen Edge, critical damage increased by 10%. And then Dust Embrace gives me armor penetration on all my GreatAxe attacks. And then Greed, again, light attacks give me extra empowerment. So if you can get a light attack off before you do a Maelstrom, light attack cancel on a Maelstrom, light attack cancel on a Gravity Well, whatever, it's going to give you extra damage on your attacks. And then obviously I'm still rocking Charge with Unpredictable. You could take off the damage for charge and go into critical condition and potentially critical gains. Those are two really good perks as well, but I like just having the extra damage on charge in case I want to use it to finish an opponent off that's running. Typically in a group scenario or war scenario, you probably just want to use charge to run away. And then Warhammer, I'm using Path of Destiny obviously with Prevalent Spirit. That way I'm getting extra health off Path of Destiny with my leeching as well as Prevailing Spirit. Concussive Impact, doing more damage to targets with debuffs, which are probably always going to have debuffs, to be honest, if they're fighting. Reduce damage taken while sprinting. That way if I'm running up and doing Path of Destiny, taking less damage. Increase damage absorption when surrounded by enemies. It's really crucial to have this on your GreatAxe and Warhammer. Shockwave obviously with the radius, and then Wrecking Ball with the radius. Shockwave and a Wrecking Ball is really good, but Shockwave back in the Maelstrom is, like I said, bread and butter. Power Through the Pain. If you take damage, which you always will, you're just going to do 35% extra damage, which is just going to destroy people with that extra grit. I take people from 50% down to 0 with just one heavy attack if I get hit and I have Power Through Pain, because I have Contemption, increase heavy attack against targets with 15% extra damage when they're under 30%. And then I have Hardened Steel, which gives me damage reduction while using the heavy attack. So a lot of times I'll just bait into a heavy attack. Gaining power on heavy attacks, just empowering my heavy attacks with the full Juggernaut tree, man. And then Epitome of Bunk increases all armor penetration, which is again giving me armor pen on my heavy attacks. See you guys. That is my Bruiser build. That is how you are going to counter these Dex rats. And again, just remember, in order to really counter these Dex users, once you get your Elemental Aversion gear, you're gonna want to slot, like a lot of people are converting their damage to elemental, so it's your choice to either go with opals for the damage elemental absorption. You can go with thrust protection. If you're not finding a lot of melee characters, I'm actually tempted to swap out a few of these opals for emeralds. That way I can get more thrust protection, but I'm just gonna wait to see how it balances out once I get my elemental version to see how many emeralds I'm gonna need. But yeah, you just gotta have to play around with that on your server, depending upon the team comps. But 100%, I will be adding more elemental version in order to counter those Dex and those other range characters. It will also counter mages as well. But yeah, that is my build, you guys. If you have any questions, comments, please drop in the comment section. Thanks for watching the video. Peace and love.